My name is Anna Maida from ISA 4220 on Spring 2020, and today we're going to talk about SSH and OpenSSH. We're going to cover and answer questions about SSH and OpenSSH and its hardening recommendations. So, Secure Socket Shell is a network protocol that gives users, particularly administrators, with a secure way to access a remote computer. It is a method for secure remote login from one computer to another. It also provides several alternative options for strong authentication. It protects the communications security and integrity with strong encryption. It is also a secure alternative to the non-protected logins protocols such as Telnet and Arrow login, and insecure file transfer methods such as FTP. The protocol is widely used in corporate networks for providing secure access for users and automated processes, interactive and automated file transfers using remote commands, managing network infrastructure and other mission critical components. The protocol works in the server model, client-server model, which is a means for connection is established by the SSH client connected to the SSH server. The SSH client drives the connection setup process and uses public key cryptography to verify and identify of the SSH server. After the setup phase, the SSH protocol uses strong symmetric encryption and hashing algorithms to ensure privacy and integrity of the data that is exchanged between the client and the server. There are several options that can be used for user authentication. The most common ones are passwords and public key authentication. Public key authentication is a method primarily used for automation and sometimes used by system administrators for single sign-on. It has also turned out to be much more widely used than ever anticipated. The idea is to have a cryptographic key, which is a public key and a private key, and configure the public key on a server to authorize access and to grant anyone who has a copy of the private key access to the server. The keys used for authentication called the SSH keys. Public key authentication is also used with smart cards such as the CASC, the CSC, and PIV cards used by the US government. The main use for key-based authentication is to enable secure automation. Automated secure shell file transfer are used to seamlessly integrate applications and also for automated systems and configuration management. SSH keys are to grant access as usernames and passwords do, but require similar provisioning and termination process. Once the connection has been established between the SSH client server, the SSH client and the server, the data is transmitted and is encrypted according to the parameters negotiated in the setup. During the negotiation, the client and the server agree on the symmetric encryption algorithm to be used and generate the encryption key that is used. The traffic between the communicating parties is protected with industry standard strong encryption algorithms. The advanced encryption standard and the SSH protocol includes mechanisms that ensures the integrity of the transmitted data using standard hash algorithms. The core protocol. SSH protocol became popular in 2009. It took the IETF for standardization. It is now an internet standard. It is not compatible with SSH1 and uses Diffie-Hellman key exchange and a stronger integrity check that uses message authentication codes to improve security. Now we go over the technical discussion for OpenSSH. OpenSSH is the standard SSH client and server used by most Linux distributions. It is a connectivity tool that most administrators rely on to work on their Linux and BSD servers. OpenSSH encrypts all traffic, including passwords, to effectively eliminate eavesdropping, connections, hijacking, and other attacks. So, in other words, OpenSSH ensures the connection to your server is secure. The OpenSSH suite includes the SSH program that replaces rlogin and Telnet, and CSP, which replaces RCP and FTP. OpenSSH has also added SFTP and SFTP server. Implement an easier solution for file transfer. OpenSSH comes in two downloadable distributions, that is the native OpenBSD distribution and the multi-platform portable distribution. OpenSSH is developed by the OpenBSD project. Now for the hardening and security of OpenSSH. There are 6 important tasks to secure your SSH server setup: a strong password, a change of the SSH default port, always use protocol version 2, disable root login, and limit user access, and use key-based authentication. A password is a word or string of characters used for user authentication to prove identity or access approval, to gain access to a resource, to keep it a secret from those who are not allowed to use access the server. Use complex and long passwords. That should be easy to remember and unique according to you, but not easy to guess. A good password should also contain special characters like apostrophe, exclamation mark, and a /, not just the characters from A to C and 0 to 9. Use upper and lowercase characters in the password. Change the default SSH port. The default port for SSH service is 22, and you should change it to make it less obvious that your server is running the SSH service. The SSH configuration file is located in /etc//sshd/directory. You have to edit the config file /etc/ssh/config. Always use protocol 2. The SSH protocol versions: the old protocol, One is insecure. That's why you prefer the protocol 2, which is more secure than protocol 1. Also disable your root login. You should disable the login for root user, because there are many brute force attacks against the name of the root super user. It is important to test SSH login with your alternate root user that you plan to use for SSH logins before you disable the root account. We continue the hardening recommendation for OpenSSH. Limit user. You should add new user login for your server. Assume that you have already created users Anna and Ben to log into your server. Then you should add new line. Allow users Anna, Ben. You can also limit the SSH access to these users by using /etc/ssh/sshd_config. You should also use key-based authentication. You might want to use this option because it is very easy to set up and more secure than the password-based authentication. First, you have to create private key pair for your local computer. You can create this private key pair using this command: /keygen/t/rsa/b4096. It will create two files in the local directory. ID_RSA is a private key, and ID_RSA.pub as a public key. If it prompts for a password, you can leave it blank or type in your password. Using a password to protect your key is recommended. Here are the references that I use. Thank you.